Hey there, it's Jason from Heap of Jeep, ready for video number 3 in the Fabricating the Bumper series. Hope so, because let's get at it. Some more cutting, some more grinding, some more welding, and it's starting to take shape here. Okay, so I'm going to pick up where I left off on last time, where we have a good chunk of the bumper tack welded together. And I just got a couple more pieces to cut out of the 3/16 steel here, and then I'm gonna have to go to something else that I have on hand, which is this, which I think is a 16 or 14 gauge steel. It's not real thick, but once I have the other front part of the bumper in place, everything else I think will be fine in that. Once it's painted, no one will ever be able to tell the difference, and I think once that other piece, once the thick piece is here, it'll be sturdy enough. I mean, it's already stronger than the original stock bumper anyways, right? Just to break up the monotony of doing the same thing over and over, I'm doing some welding as I go, and then I'll take a break from the welding and cut some more pieces and tack them on, and then get back to welding. So let me get a light up so you can see how poor some of my welds are. So this is with a cheap Harbor Freight flux core, so lots of splattering and stuff. You know, it's not horrible. It's actually better than a lot of the welding I've done in the past. Right there is not so good. But doesn't really matter how they look to me, because then I'm coming in with the grinder and grinding it all smooth. And see, it's looking, you know, once you grind them all off there, it actually looks pretty cool. So that's where the two pieces joined in the middle. And then along this edge, and then I've still got some more welding to do down here, but yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good, I'm thinking. The other thing about the cheap Harbor Freight welders, the duty cycle on it is horrid. I mean, I can get one good strong weld done, you know, one big piece, and then I've got to let it sit and cool down for a while. Just so it doesn't overheat. You know, it has the when it gets too hot, it'll shut off itself, but I don't want to get it that hot. It'll last longer if I don't work it too hard. So doing one line and then stopping and going back to grinding and tacking stuff in. So just keep that in mind. If you're doing it with a cheap welder, even if you're doing it with an expensive welder, you don't want to overwork it, because it just won't last as long. Let's look at that again. That's called Jason being stupid. I have a bench vise for a reason. Little pieces like this that you shouldn't, I shouldn't have been trying to grind it while I was holding it. Here's what the grinder did to the glove. Whee! There's what it did to my thumb. It's wrapped up pretty tight right now. I'm trying to stop the bleeding and then clean it out and see if I need to go get some stitches. Hopefully not, but don't be a jerk like me and a stupid idiot and use the bench vise when you're working with little pieces in a grinder. That was just plain and utterly stupid. Well, everybody hoping for the blood and the gore and the guts really didn't happen. Sorry, you know, the video caught my grinder hitting there. So, finished up the pieces. Well, they were stuck in the bench grinder, but my lighting back there really stinks. So, you know how to grind stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting these on the bumper here. I'm going to go ahead and weld these into place, I think. Okay, well, I'm really not worried about cleaning up the welds, but I cleaned this one up so you could see that you don't have to be a perfect welder if you're going to be grinding down the edges like I am. So what I'm going to do now is grind that down and show you how that ugly weld will look pretty cool when we're done. Alright, so there we go. We go from big, ugly weld down to nice and smooth. I'll have to get the edges a little more, but I'll probably wait till I primer it because that'll show me the highs and the lows a little better. That's what I'm doing to all the welds, but I'm doing it in steps. So, gonna go weld some more now that the little Harbor Freight welder is all cooled down. Fan's been blowing and it's cooled down, so I'll do another line and grind that one down and do another line and grind that one down, and so I'll keep going here. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're watching this video hoping to learn how to weld from me, wrong video. If you watched any of my other videos, I'm a very novice. I sort of know the basics. I know the theory behind it. But the skill, that only comes with practice, and a lot of practice, and some guidance from someone who knows what they're doing would help too, and I don't have that. So, but it does show you a cheap Harbor Freight welder and a little determination and a lot of practice. You know, these are solid welds. They're burned through. They're not going anywhere. But if you know what you're doing and can make a good looking weld, you could probably skip the step of grinding it down, but I do sort of want it smooth anyways. But yeah, don't watch my videos if you want to learn how to weld, because I'm not the one to teach you. So when it's all said and done, looks like right there I missed a spot. I can go back in with the welder and touch that up, or maybe not, maybe just use some Bondo on it or something. But I decided to grind the top of this piece so you can sort of see how it's all going to look when it's done. And that angle in there took quite a while to grind out, but all in all, yeah, you can see that line there down the front. I'll have to go back and weld the front of that again, but it's alright. I think it's coming along. It's just a slow process. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for this video. You kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. Cutting a piece out, tacking it in, welding a line, grinding it down, letting the welder cool. When you have a cheap Harbor Freight welder with a duty cycle of 5% maybe, that's what you got to do. You got to let it cool down, otherwise you're just going to toast that thing. And I don't want to go spend another $100 until I absolutely have to on a new welder. So gonna leave it there and keep going. And in the next video, I'll pick up probably doing the skirting around the bottom of the bumper, and then how I plan to fabricate the mounts and get that all lined up. And yeah, I'm digging it. I think it's coming along. Just a slow process. I wish it was going faster. Maybe if I had better skills at welding, it might go faster. But I don't. So this is what I'm doing, and still lots of fun. And can't wait to get it done and see how it looks on the Jeep.